You see, you are talking of a bridge that links Anambra State, Southeast, Abia, Imo, to the entire Nigeria, coming through Lagos. All right, that is the route. All the containers that come from Lagos coming to the east, that's the route they use. It's quite enormous. It's something that, if you look at the economic benefit, you get very excited. There's quite a lot we can benefit from it, and it's going to impact very positively on the economy of the Southeast.
It's going to lead to free flow of traffic. Of course, even our people who reside in other parts of the world, or in other parts of the country, once there is a period of festivities where all of our people return home to celebrate Christmas, Easter, and what have you, they will not hesitate. Most of them will come back home, and coming back home brings happiness home. Economically, economic will become viable because goods will move freely between other parts of the country and the Southeast. Business will boom, and everything will pick up.
On the other side of the bridge lies the serene city of Asaba, the capital of Delta State and once the colonial headquarters of the Southern Protectorate of Nigeria. Strategically located on the bank of the river, Asaba serves as the main entryway to the southeast from the Lagos axis. Here, traffic is usually heavy on its main highway, but to ease the flow and divert vehicles to the new bridge, a 3.3-kilometer approach road is also being constructed.
The second Niger Bridge is the artery between the western part and the eastern part of the country and the rest of the country. You can't quantify what it will do economically. Even apart from the economy, how about the comfort of the people? Going home at festive seasons, our brethren from east of the Niger love to travel at Easter, at Christmas, and other festive seasons. You cannot imagine the relief they will have on that bridge. They have slept on that bridge before. My friend spent 6 hours last December, but people who slept till the next day have that experience. So the relief will come for them.
President Muhammad Buhari is a man of few words. When in 2018 he gave assurance that his administration was going to deliver the project, many people may have taken it with a pinch of salt and perhaps waved it off as a familiar story, a tale by moonlight repeatedly told by past politicians without commensurate action. 4 years after, the dream is set to become a reality.
I thank God I'm alive to see the working of that second Niger Bridge. They have gone a long way. I am happy over what I see today. They are trying. They are trying. I pray, let the Chukwu Okike Abioma guide them. So far they have gone.
It's been a subject of serious politicking over the years. So our people kind of developed a feeling that it will never come. But all of a sudden, here comes President Buhari, who now announced that he was going to do the bridge and immediately started work.
It waited this long because they made it political. Instead of really pulling up their bootstraps and working, they turned it to a political thing. That was why whenever elections were approaching, they would go there to hoodwink the people of the region to get their votes. They turned it into a political thing. But then came President Buhari, who was not interested in fooling anybody, who was not interested in the politics of it, was just interested in action.
Under this administration as well, the long-abandoned Onitsha River Port has been revived and may soon become a port of final destination for goods bound for the southeast, thereby decongesting the existing seaports in Lagos, Port Harcourt, and other cities. Stakeholders are of the view that the second Niger Bridge will boost activities at the river port and complement the multimodal transportation initiative of the administration.
Today, we talk of multimodal forms of transportation. You talk about the road, you talk about the rail, you talk about water and things like that. So
Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360 Nigeria. I am Folashade Ogorinde. The candidate of the People's Democratic Party for the Enugu State governorship election, Peter Mba, has emerged as a winner of the governorship poll in the state. Mba was declared winner of the Saturday's governorship election on Wednesday after the results of the controversial Nkanu East local government area results were collated. The INEC State Coalition and Returning Officer Madwe BBC Afo Iwe said that Mba polled a total of 160,895 votes to defeat the closest contender, Chijioke Edeoga of the Labour Party, who polled a total of 157,552 votes.
Mba Peter BBC of People's Democratic Party, PDP, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and the returned elected.
In a related development, the Labour Party gubernatorial candidate Alex Oti has been declared winner of the Abia State governorship election. The returning officer for the state and vice chancellor, Federal University of Technology, Futo Inina Oti, declared them winner of 48 hours after the collation of election results was postponed. Oti polled 175,467 votes, beating Oke Ahiwe, Abia PDP governorship candidates, who got a total of 88,529 votes.
Oti Alex M LP 175467. Opai Hero Male NNPP 2068 valid votes. Njoma Kalu Male NRN 472 valid votes. Ahiwe Okechukwu Ambrose, male, PDP, 88529 valid votes. That Oti Alex Chioma of Labour Party, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected. Thank you.
Meanwhile, the governor of Abia State, Okoze Ikpeazu, has congratulated the Labour Party candidates and winner of the March 18 governorship election in the state, Alex Oti. The incumbent, in a statement shortly after the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, declared Oti as the winner of the poll, said the Labour Party candidates fought a long battle over a very long period of time and should be commended for his staying power and resilience. The governor and chieftain of the People's Democratic Party also urged all Oti's opponents, including his party's candidates, Oke Ahiwe, not to distract the incoming governor with court cases. Still in politics, the vice presidential candidates of the Labour Party, Dati Baba Ahmed, has urged President Muhammadu Buhari not to hold the swearing-in of the president-elect Bola Ahmed Tinubu on May the 29th. Tinubu, the flag bearer of the All Progressives Congress, APC, was declared the winner of the presidential election on March 1st by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. But Baba Ahmed, speaking during a televised interview on Wednesday, argued that the APC failed to meet the requirement of Section 134, subsection 2A and B of the Nigerian Constitution for election into the office of the president. The All Progressives Congress, APC in Gwadabawa, Ward, Yola North, LGA of Adamawa State has suspended Boss Mustafa, Secretary to the Government of the Federation. Speaking at a press conference in Yola on Wednesday, Chairperson of the APC in Gwadabawa, Moazu Kabiru, said Mustafa failed to assist the party at the ward level when his attention was needed. He explained that the party lost their presidential and governorship elections in Yola North LGA to Atiku Abubakar of PDP and Aisha Binani of APC, meaning that the SGF has failed to recognize the importance of the party's executives in Gwadabawa. Following the lingering naira scarcity across the country, the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress has directed all workers to protest at all the offices of the Central Bank of Nigeria nationwide starting next week. The NLC President Joe Ajaro gave the directive at the press briefing at the Labour House in Abuja. He said the directive became imperative following the expiration of a one-week ultimatum given to the Apex Bank to make cash available for all Nigerians.
From this week, from Friday, there will be mobilization of all state councils through a NEC meeting. All unions have already been directed to mobilize all their organs and their branches by Wednesday next week. All central bank offices nationwide will be picketed. All central bank from the CBN headquarters will be shut till further notice. Workers are directed to stay at home and join in the picketing exercise. We wish to call on Nigerians to understand the circumstances we are operating in. People will be telling you the political situation. The political situation is self-inflicted, and the economic situation is worse than the political situation because people cannot eat. Workers can no longer go to office, and nothing is happening.
The Federal Executive Council FEC has approved over 4 billion naira for the construction of barracks for personnel of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. Speaking with journalists on Wednesday at the end of the FEC meeting, Abubakar Malami added that would discourage attacks and threats on officers. Malami said recent efforts by officers of the NDLEA against illicit drugs have exposed them to more attacks and threats.
There has been renewed and sustained onslaught against drug cartels and barons over time. Within the 3 quarters of 2023, about 18,940 arrests were effected by the NDLEA, and indeed drugs, the estimated value of which is over 40 billion naira, were confiscated. Again, about 2,904 convictions were recorded. These successes that were recorded, unfortunately, translated to unprecedented threats and attacks on personnel, officers, men, and other ranks of the agency. And then the need has arisen for the federal government to consider the possibility of taking security measures that will now provide the desired protection to the officers and men of the agency or commission. So with that in mind, what was presented before the Federal Executive Council today is a memo seeking approval for the award of contracts for the construction of barracks accommodation for personnel of the Drug Law Enforcement Agency.
Also speaking at the end of the council meeting, the Minister of Transportation, Muazzez Sambo, disclosed that FERC approved the sum of 453.90 billion naira for the procurement of rolling stock, operation and maintenance equipment for the Kano-Maradi standard gauge rail line currently under construction.
Council considered the memorandum and approved the award of the contract as recommended and reviewed by the Bureau of Public Procurement in the sum of 510,934,934,000 naira 600. I take it again. 510,934,600 naira, inclusive of 7.5% VAT, and with a completion period of 9 months in favor of Messrs. All Works Commercial Company Limited. The second memorandum presented by the Ministry is on behalf of the Ministry itself, but for the ultimate management by the Nigerian Railway Corporation. The memorandum sought Council consideration and approval for the award of contract for the procurement of rolling stock, operation and maintenance equipment for the Kano-Maradi standard gauge rail line that is currently under construction. The contract was awarded to Messrs. Motor Angel Nigeria Limited, who are the contractors handling this particular project, in the sum of $984,722,302.05, inclusive of 7.5% VAT, with a completion period of 4 years.
As the world celebrates World Water Day, the Nigeria Institution of Mechanical Engineers, in collaboration with the Lagos State Water Corporation, has urged residents of the state to work with authorities in the delivery of safe water nationwide. The national chairman of the Nigeria Institution of Mechanical Engineers, Fumilayo Akingbagugun, made this known during a workshop where over 80 schools from different education districts were brought together to learn and prefer solutions to the problems of water, sanitation and hygiene in Nigeria. On his part, the Group Managing Director, Lagos Water Corporation, Muminu Badmus, said the government has undertaken visible water interventions across the country.
The essence of the competition is because we have a lacuna in the space of water, sanitation and hygiene in Nigeria. And engineering is about problem solving. If you want to solve any problem, you need engineers. And that is why we have put this of attacking and creating solutions to the many challenges of water, hygiene and sanitation in Nigeria. And we want to sincerely appreciate all the districts in Lagos State for bringing their children onto this project, for us to be able to create some more solutions to what they see within their communities. If you want to run an encompassing and holistic solution to the water problem in Lagos State, you need to be able to use the communities and the communities and the environment for us to be able to resolve that problem.
There are more to do because the water we are sending out now is not even enough for the citizens. But our goal is to make sure that every household have access to potable water in the state. And we're on course, and I think very soon there's going to be more water that is going to be delivered everywhere. But right now, water is coming out and people are enjoying it.
It is very important to make connections between what students are working on theoretically to what's happening in the real world, because that helps it to stick. And then when you understand how critical what you're doing is, that gives you an extra push that, oh, wow, what we're doing here is not just something we're doing for competition and winning prizes, but it's actually a matter of life and death, like I told them. Water happens to be one of our most precious resources, and we're not maintaining and sustaining it well enough. So we need them to start working on that.
I feel more than excited to be. I wasn't expecting it. It happened as a shock, and well, I'm excited. I'm glad beyond measures, and I'm very grateful.
The Social Protection Accountability Project, SERAP, and other CSOs have partnered to strengthen transparency and accountability in delivery of social protection programs for the poor and vulnerable in the country. Speaking at a two-day review meetings on the effective mechanism for promoting accountability on Tuesday in Lagos, Senior Program Officer Sarah Temidayo Omoju appealed to the government to release monies allocated for promoting social protection for the citizens of Lagos. Omoju also gave assurances of efforts at ensuring the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals nationwide.
To citizens in Lagos about social protection. You know, the report you have just kind of presented is about what has been done in relation to social protection in the state, most especially as regards to the policy that was approved in August 2020, and as well as the implementation of this policy so far. I've been able to see from the budget analysis that even though the state has allocated a lot of money concerning social protection in the state, because not much has been released from this money for social protection implementations. So this is a privilege, it is an opportunity for us now to ask the government to release the money they've allocated so that the social protection programs in the states can be implemented.
It's important for every citizens, first to be aware and to also benefit from it. Like I said earlier, because if you look at the Sustainable Development Goal, especially from Goal 1 to Goal 5, talking about poverty, education, zero hunger, and the rest of them, these are basic things that as citizens that we should have, and also for the vulnerables, the marginalized. So we do not unconsciously leave them out of being able to enjoy their rights as citizens of Nigeria. So every state needs to be able to domesticate this. Yeah, Lagos State has started already. Lagos State has already domesticated this, but there's a need for more, implementation.
And everyone can be carried along. We don't want anyone suffering at all. The last time we learned that about 103 million people are in abject poverty, not just poverty, like serious poverty. So we don't want anyone at all left behind. Lagos is a city of plenty, and everyone should live at least reasonably well.
We'll take a break now and be back with more stories. To stay with us.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, but truth is universal.
How, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
President must see himself as the President of the Federal Republic.
We know where the enemy is. 3 places. The Lake Chad Basin, the Sambisa Forest.
On TV360, we give you a complete dose of everything. Opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it, use it to take action.
I don't think there's any need for any governor to look for grant for ranching.
TV360, dissecting the issues.
Welcome back. Well, in case you missed any of our news bulletin, for more updates, you can catch us on Limex World TV or log on to our website on www.tv360nigeria.com. You can also follow us on our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at TV360 Nigeria. On Facebook, we are TV360 Online. China has approved its first domestically developed mRNA vaccine against COVID-19. Its manufacturer said on Wednesday, months after the relaxation of strict zero COVID-19 regulations sparked a surge in cases. The vaccine, developed by CSPC Pharmaceutical Group Limited, has been approved for emergency use by Beijing's health regulator, the company said in a statement on Wednesday. The company added that it showed high efficacy in a trial in which it was used as a booster shot for people who have been given other types of vaccines. With cases of COVID-19 in the country rising once again, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is chairing a high-level meeting to review the situation and public health preparedness today. The meeting comes as India recorded a single-day rise of 1,134 COVID-19 cases, this year's highest so far. Meanwhile, the active cases in the country has increased to 7,026. We'll take another break here now and be back with more stories and business. To stay with us. In business, the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC) says it will arrest and prosecute anyone involved in the sale or use of pre-registered subscriber identification model SIM cards. In a statement on Wednesday, Robert Morka, NCC's Director of Public Affairs, said the resolution was in line with the Nigerian Communications Act 2003 and the Commission's Registration of Telephone Subscribers Regulations of 2011. Morka said the Commission regularly undertakes monitoring and enforcement activities to ensure that all stakeholders comply with the extant laws, regulations and directives as they apply to telecom governance in the country. Oil prices fell on Thursday following 3 sessions of gains after Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell highlighted banking sector credit risks for the world's largest economy, while U.S. crude stocks rose more than expected. Brent crude futures fell 66 cents to $76.03 a barrel, while U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude dropped 74 cents to $70.16 a barrel. Both crude benchmarks settled on Wednesday at their highest close since March the 14th, after the dollar slid to a 6-week low. On the foreign scene, the U.S. Central Bank has raised interest rates again, despite fears that the move could add to financial turmoil after a string of bank failures. The Fed has been raising borrowing costs in a bid to stabilize prices, but the sharp increase in interest rates since last year has led to strains in the banking system. The Federal Reserve increased its key rate by 0.25 percentage points, calling the banking system sound and resilient. But it also warned that fallout from the bank failures may hurt economic growth in the months ahead. In sports, ahead of Wednesday's crucial Under-23 Africa Cup of Nations